undertake because of how successful they've been. And it doesn't seem like everything has.
And I guess I was being a little self-deprecating. Like, I don't actually think that Chiefs fans are spoiled for saying I don't care if they won Sunday. Now, if fans were like like the Fire Andy Reid fans, for example, like they're spoiled. They didn't go through the hard times that we went through growing up, going to games at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. They didn't have those hard times that we shared in. It's almost like we knew that the other Hall of Famers on this roster would age much quicker than Patrick Mahomes. We're there. Things have gotten stale. But at the same time, I don't know how we could have expected the coaching staff to make changes coming off of 3 straight Super Bowl appearances. It's just not how the world works. Certainly not how the NFL works. But then also just looking at the numbers, Patrick Mahomes has seemingly avoided, like very narrowly, a lot of bad injuries in his career. And look at all the greats that have bounced back from this sort of an injury. It's almost like, man, if I would have picked the year for all of these issues to pop up, I would have wanted them to happen in the same year, and they have. So it's almost good in a sense if we can move forward this offseason. Instead of this being the year Mahomes blows out his knee, and then 2 years from now, Andy Reid loses his luster as a play-calling head coach, and a year ago, Travis Kelce retires. Like, it's all just sort of culminating right now. It's a halfway point in Patrick Mahomes' career. He's 8 seasons as a starter. He's probably going to play till late in his 30s, close to 40, if I had to guess. Like, it's just a good midpoint and reset for this dynasty. So I don't think, unless you're the fans calling for Fire Andy Reid, that you're spoiled. But I cannot get up for this game on Sunday. I don't have it in me.
I mean, it was bad enough that it was the Titans coming to town. But now that it feels like the Titans have a better opportunity to win than the Chiefs do, it's like, now I've really lost all my motivation. Like, the only motivation that could have existed was like, hey, Chiefs have a chance to really come out and lay the wood in this game and quote unquote get right sort of an atmosphere, but that doesn't matter. Everybody's hurt. The Titans are bad. The Titans I think Titans fans want to lose this game just as bad as Chiefs fans do, because if they lose, they continue to stay in the hunt for the number 1 overall pick with the Raiders and the Giants at the moment. So, and I know that there's those Chiefs fans that are like, the Chiefs need to try to tank for a top 10 pick. Top 10 feels like an impossible ask right now. I mean, they're currently sitting in a 3-way tie, quote unquote, with for the 11th pick alongside I just made money. Bang!
Yeah, Alabama chose to not kick the field goal there, down 17 in the second quarter.
Kalen
Went
DeBoer.
forward on 4th down and scored. That's a very gutsy call, but it paid off.
Thank you
it'd be
so
17-7 OU after the extra point, but Alabama finally showing signs of life.
That was $10 to win 70 on an Alabama offensive touchdown and drive 4. Ka-ching! Thank you so much. And with that 50% profit boost, it took me from a plus 400 to a plus 600. $70 straight into the old pocket. Gotta love it, dude. Back to the conversation at hand. With the Chiefs tied with the Dolphins and Vikings, right?
Yeah.
That puts them in the range of the 11th pick.
Right.
Right now, the Falcons have the 10th overall pick, even though they don't, actually. It's the Rams, I believe, you mentioned earlier. They're at 5-9. And then you've got Bengals, Saints, Commanders, Jets, Browns, Cardinals, Raiders, Titans, Giants.
Yeah, 11 is the ceiling.
11 feels like the ceiling, right?
Maybe between 11 and 14. 14 if things get spicy and the Chiefs start winning football games, but probably 11, 12, or 13. In that range where you can expect somebody of elite talent at the wide receiver position or the edge rusher position, or, I mean, obviously, tight end or running back. If you're picking one of them, if you're picking Sadiq or Love, obviously you know what you're getting. But you can expect, even if you're not a drafts person, to get almost your pick of the litter at some pretty positions of need, first of all, but some important positions as well. And look, they better not mess it up, because I don't know about you, I'm very hopeful, and I'm expecting the Chiefs to not be picking anywhere near 11 for the next decade.
Yeah. I've thrown this sentiment around because it is a legitimate fear that I have, and I'm sure I'm not alone among this fan base in this thought process. My hope is that this year is representative of sort of those middling years for Brady a little bit, where it was just sort of the lull before the second half outburst of his career, and not like what happened to the Green Bay Packers after they won that Super Bowl in 2011 and Rodgers' contract kicked in and things started to become Rodgers and the Rodgettes.
Yeah,
is it
the
right?
post Driver and Jennings Rodgers? Is it the post Legion of Boom Russell Wilson? Or is it the rebirth in the middle of Tom Brady's career? That's a scary place to be. We knew we'd be there one day.
Yeah.
Maybe that day came faster than we wanted it to. We knew we'd be there. The first half of his career is still the most impressive anyone's ever had in the league. The problem is Brady then won 4 in the back half of his career. But Logan, I really do think we're going to look back in 2 years and say, well, the moves they were making, though, while they were down were significant. Because look at it this way. A lot of people think Trent McDuffie is going to be traded this offseason. I'm on team find a way to keep him. However, I understand that maybe his skill set overlaps sort of a Noah Williams. And you think, hey, he can step up and do the job, and we can use that money elsewhere. You could probably get a late first for McDuffie. I get the trade McDuffie sentiments. I'm certainly not paying Rashee Rice. I'm on trade Rashee Rice, but I'm not paying him. So who's the next big contract this team hands out? Maybe Josh Simmons in 2 or 3 years. They're in a spot to where like none of their young guys you're looking at. If it's not McDuffie, who? So you pick up Josh Simmons in last year's draft. You have the chance to pick up a David Bailey, like Jordan Foote mentioned earlier out of Texas Tech, or a Carnell Tate from Ohio State, or a bookend player at a key position. And you look at these 2 drafts back to back and say, wow, we got Simmons and we got the number 1 receiver for the next 10 years in back-to-back drafts. We're going to lock those guys up and build around them. There's a huge opportunity in that aspect coming up this spring for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I don't know if there's outside of that 2022 draft class, which has absolutely hit the way that they wanted it to.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a more important draft in the Mahomes tenure outside of maybe that one than the one that's coming up this year, because they have got to hit on some highly productive players in this draft class, because right now it feels as if the Chiefs are kind of in a penny pinching kind of mode right now, where you've paid huge money to Karlaftis and Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith and Chris Jones. You're paying big money to Patrick Mahomes, as you should. And Nick Bolton, lest we forget. But it's forced you to have to really consider what you pay, or do you pay Trent McDuffie? What you pay, or do you pay Leo Chenal? Same situation surrounds Jalen Watson. And so some of those guys, whether we like it or not, and I agree, somebody in the text line says they need to keep Leo Chenal.
They do.
I'm with you. I 100% agree. But at a certain point, there's just not enough dinero to go around.
Well, and I'm talking those big contracts too. Like I'm absolutely pay Leo Chenal. I think over the cap values him at like $5.5 million a year. Like it's not going to be a significant amount of money.
Right.
Jalen Watson is the really interesting one this offseason, because that same site values him at like $19 million a year. I don't think Jalen Watson's getting $20 million a year. I think he's getting 15. And from a team building perspective, when you have a guy like Noah Williams that can be in the slot, I really like that tall guy on the outside. I'd kind of rather pay him, all things equal, than Trent McDuffie. Obviously,
pay him
McDuffie's a much better player.
Pay McDuffie 30.
Exactly. If you think Noah Williams can take over. And so I understand these things, but I guess there's not a move in the foreseeable future that you have to move a significant amount of money around for to make happen. There's not a guy that you can't let walk that needs an extension if it's not Trent McDuffie until the Simmons contract is up. So it's a really good time to sort of maybe, I wouldn't say they're in cap hell like teams like the Saints and the Bills live in, but like they are, it's tight.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to, get out of Juwan Taylor and fix Patrick Mahomes before they even get back to even on the cap this upcoming offseason.
And if they can find, they'll find a way to restructure Patrick Mahomes and possibly, a guy like Creed Humphrey or even Trey Smith, maybe even Chris Jones.
I think I think the restructures on Humphrey and Smith are more likely next offseason, but I think a Jones restructure could very well be in play as well.
I will say, I believe there is a scenario that exists. And I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I don't. I'm saying from a monetary standpoint, Chris Jones has a club opt-out following the 2026 season. I believe the Chiefs are going to explore that possibility. I really do. You know, his cap hit for next year is $44.8. His cap hit in 2027 is $38.1, and then again $44.8 in 2028. And as much as I love Chris Jones, and I believe Chris Jones is going to end up in the Hall of Fame, he has seen major regression in his career. I mean, let's be completely honest with ourselves. So far, I mean, last year in 15 games, he had 5 sacks. And this year in 14 games, he's got 4. Has he been much better since the bye week? Oh, 100% he has. Absolutely he has been. He's been better the last month of the year than he was the first 2 months of the year combined.
Yeah, but that Chris Jones pick when you turn your motor on and pick when you throttle it down, that rate's gone way, way, way up.
Yeah.
Way up.
It's gone way up. And way too much of him having to defend his action, or rather inaction at times, right? I mean, the situation surrounding the Trevor Lawrence thing in Jacksonville, you know, about the lack of effort or what have you, about he thought he was down and this and that and the other thing, and the social media, the yada, yada, yada. Those things are much less likely to just be swept under the rug than they used to be. And oh my God, that's a major mistake by Oklahoma's punter.
Well, and I think in addition to the Chris Jones, move he has an out next offseason, I think a lot of the contracts, well, actually, I mean, not a lot of, both of the big contracts the Chiefs signed on defense last offseason, Karlaftis and Bolton, have outs after either this upcoming season or 2027 as well. So it's not like those guys are going to be, huge weights that anchor the cap down for years to come. So there is flexibility on the horizon, and I really do believe that there's not going to be a large internal contract handed out in the next 2 or 3. I think Josh Simmons is the next one.
Yeah.
I would try to find a way to keep McDuffie. I don't think the Chiefs are going to do that. I think they're going to trade him this offseason if I had a crystal ball, if I was a betting man. And same with Rashee Rice. I think they're either going to let him play out his contract and walk, or maybe try to get something for him this offseason or next offseason. So there is a really good chance to reset the cap and pick high. And when you put that with acquiring your franchise left tackle at 32 the year before, this could be a really pivotal offseason in what's an otherwise pretty dark time in the dynasty. I think we're going to look back and say, hey, Veach was kind of cooking during that time, even though we were all a little upset.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to know this whole conversation we've been having, from my perspectives, your perspectives, the perspectives of our listeners in the text line. I didn't hear anybody mention the running back position one time, and that terrifies me. That scares the hell out of me, to be completely honest. We may discuss that next. 913-586-7965 is our number, because I think running back has to get figured out soon. Do I think it's a more pressing issue than defensive line? Absolutely not. But they got to figure something out, and how they do it remains to be seen. Logan Weber alongside Nathan Williams, After Hours, here on your home for Kansas City sports. It's 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. We'll help you find last-minute gifts that don't look last-minute, even if you're still planning to propose. At Shane Company, we'll show you perfect gifts at perfect prices, in stock and ready to give. Like hand-matched diamond studs, 14-karat gold chains, or the ultimate gift, a beautiful engagement ring. We have longer store hours, so you can skip the crowds and shop when you want, or visit us at shaneco.com. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
When cold weather hits, the last thing you want is a heating system that fails. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter for an $89 heating system tune-up. Keeping your system running at peak efficiency can help prevent costly breakdowns, lower energy bills, and ensure your system is ready when temperatures drop. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews, plus our exceptional service guarantee, are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
When you've thrown over 4,000 innings like I have, you know joint pain isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. For you, was it climbing ladders or too much heavy lifting? Hey, we're all in the same boat. But surgery, that was never my answer.
Baseball legend Roger Clemens knows there's a better way. That's QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No scalpels, no fake fixes, just real relief.
What I love about QC Kinetics, these are the most respected medical pros in the country that specialize in non-surgical therapies to get you moving again.
Don't mask the pain, fix it. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
I trusted QC Kinetics. You should too.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites.
Hey Blues fans, ready to take your excitement to the next level? BetMGM is now available in Missouri, so shoot your shot with an official sports betting partner of the St. Louis Blues. Discover exciting Blues matchups by downloading the BetMGM app and getting instant access to a variety of parlay selection features and live betting options. Enjoy same-game parlays, boosted odds specials, the best daily promotions in the business, and so much more when you sign up. The chase is on for next Stanley Cup, so get hyped for the Blues action all season long with the official sports betting partner of the St. Louis Blues. BetMGM, now available in Missouri. Sign up today. BetMGM, make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense reminds you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
Hey guys, it's Cody Tappen. Come watch the game with me on Sunday, starting at noon at Dave & Buster's at the Legends. And you'll have a chance to win an autographed Jalen Watson jersey, plus Guns N' Roses tickets. Come join me in 96.5 The Fan at Dave & Buster's at the Legends, where every game is a big game.
This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football. It's the only place to hear from Andy Reid on Mondays at noon. It's the only place that has an exclusive one-on-one interview with Patrick Mahomes on Tuesdays at 3:15. And it's the only place to listen to the play-by-play with Mitch, Danon, and Kling on game day.
Touchdown! Kansas City! Travis Kelce owning this game!
This is your home for Chiefs football. This is 96.5 The Fan.
Spending some time talking about all these hypotheticals surrounding the Kansas City Chiefs, and during that conversation, we didn't talk at all about the running back position, which I believe, outside of the defensive line, is the biggest need that this Chiefs team has right now. And I look at, it's funny with the benefit of hindsight right now as things stand. I spent some time yesterday, because there's no good Chiefs highlights from this season to really harken back to, with them not playing well right now. I was on YouTube yesterday watching highlights of past seasons of Kansas City Chiefs football. And I went and watched like an hour-long YouTube video of the Kansas City Chiefs regular season highlights from 2018. That offense was ridiculous. And I know everybody's immediate thought is because, oh, yeah, well, it's because Tyreek was so good at his ability to stretch the field. And I don't discount that. But I urge you, like, go sit down and watch a little bit of that. Go back and watch that 2018 season. Watch what Kareem Hunt was able to do in the first 10, 11 weeks of that season before all the off-the-field stuff. I mean, good Lord. Kareem Hunt might have been a top 5 running back in football at the first half of that season. He was playing that well. It was ridiculous what he was doing out there. And because of how dangerous the running game was, it opened up things in the passing game. And because of how dangerous the passing game was, it opened up things in the running game. We haven't seen that since. You know, like even after Kareem left the team and it was Damian Williams and Darrell Williams and good Lord, there were even Darwin Thompson highlights on that video, on that YouTube video.
Hey,
Shout out Darwin Thompson.
No Jerick McKinnon slander either.
No, absolutely not. That offense was extremely well balanced, and it just hasn't been that in the last 5 years. So what do they do? Because I think running back is something that has to be solved. And I know where everybody wants to go, and it's where I'd love to go. Well, Breece Hall is going to be a free agent. Yeah, he is. Please take a moment and look at the over-the-cap numbers for the Kansas City Chiefs next year. Right now, they're sitting at $344 million in cap liabilities. Even if the salary cap takes another jump for the 5th year in a row, right, which that's been the way it's trended. In 2021, the NFL salary cap was $182 million, right? This year, it's $279 million. It's almost $100 million. $20 million that the salary cap has jumped per year. So say it stays along that trend and the NFL salary cap leapfrogs to $300 million, right? You're still $45 million over the cap. Yeah, you can let go of Jawaan Taylor and save yourself $20 million in cap, right? You'll still have to take a $7 million loss, but overall you're saving about $13 million, $20 million in letting him go. Beyond that, where? You know, Mike Dana is another one I think is a possibility of getting cut. He's a $9 million savings. You maybe restructure Mahomes, who's currently sitting at $77 million in dead money. But
yeah, I think whether it's a restructure for Mahomes or whether they rip the whole contract up and do it new, which I think is more likely,
could be.
I think they're going to completely circumvent the cap with his. I mean, the Patriots did it with Brady for so many years, and I'm not saying they're going to funnel money to Mahomes outside of the NFL, but you know, signing bonus, cash, there's ways to circumvent the cap. So just pushing that Mahomes button alone gets you pretty close to even. The very interesting thing, so the one thing I'm watching is, if Issa Pole's good the last 3 weeks, is he your right tackle? Because if they could move on from both Jawaan Taylor and Jalen Moore, that opens up a lot of cap space. I don't think that's the case. I foresee hey, Issa Pole is your Jalen Moore next year. He's your backup swing tackle, and I'm happy with that. And then they move on from one of Moore or Jawaan Taylor. But that's a way to get money. Obviously, a Mike Dana cut. The big one for me is Christian Fulton. If they cut him, it's only a few $1 million back. If they can somehow trade him, it's $10 million off the books.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have no idea who's going to trade for him, but I mean, could we get a 7th-round pick swap going to get someone to take Christian Fulton off our hands, even if the Chiefs are moving back in that deal? I'm serious, because like that's a significant difference in an offseason in which every penny matters. We have all offseason to talk about this. I think what's going to surprise people, I really think Steve Spagnuolo missed having that safety on the back end of his defense, the vocal guy that helped. That was kind of like a second Nick Bolton in terms of organization. And so I would not be surprised to see them spend some money this offseason at the safety position, going out and getting a veteran to anchor that group. He's had Ty Matthew and Justin Reed up until this season. And then obviously there was much more miscommunication, a lot more penalties, more breaks in coverage, and things of the sort. So I believe that running back is the number one thing I want to see them address in free agency, and I'd rather go younger on the defensive line. Man, any way you slice it, we've named like 5 positions, though, and no matter how much cap space they free up, it's not going to be enough. You know, they're going to have to hit on guys in free agency, which they didn't do last offseason, and have a good draft, which they didn't do last offseason after the first round.
Things have taken a drastic turn in Alabama's favor. Hello. Did Mateer just throw a pick six?
That he did. That he
Oh,
did.
my.
If the extra point is successful, we'll have a tie ball game.
Wow. All right. The money I put on or Alabama money line looks great at the moment. We'll see how it plays out. But this was a 17-3 game a little bit ago.
17 zip.
17 zip, and now it's 17 all. Right before the half, too. Alabama has made a huge statement here. Somebody in the text line, 918, and we'll get to a break here in just a minute, said they will restructure 3 contracts and be under $60 million. I see restructuring Mahomes. I definitely believe you've got to do a restructuring of some kind with Chris Jones as well. I mean, his dead cap is $64 million in terms of Chris Jones. So you restructure Mahomes, you restructure Chris Jones, who right now have a combined dead cap of over $140 million between the two. That certainly will save you a lot of money. I'm curious who the third one would potentially be, right? Because I'm with you. I don't think this is the offseason that you restructure Creed or Trey Smith or even Karlaftis for that matter, or Bolton. Those guys all just got new deals.
I don't want them to restructure Karlaftis or Bolton at all anyway. Right. I want to preserve their outs. But I think they're also going to need space next offseason. They're up against the cap in 2027 as well. And then things balloon from 2028 forward. The cap gets higher. There's less money on the books. So I believe the Creed and Trey Smith restructures will be pushed next offseason. I think it's Jones, which I might not do, but I think the team will consider. I think the money comes from Mahomes, Jones, and then the right tackle spot, whether that's one or both of Taylor and Moore. Those are your 3 moves, your 3 big moves.
Right. And if that's enough to get you a veteran safety, which looking around the league, it's not an impressive safety class necessarily, but if a veteran of some kind, if that's what Spags wants, and a running back, if you can swing it, then I think justifiably you can maybe pass on a Jeremiah Love in the first round of the draft to get an edge rusher or I guess a wide receiver. I'm not necessarily as bullish on the wide receiver thing as everybody else is. And maybe you get a running back in round 4. I don't know. I mean, just a sign one, draft one sort of thing to kind of replenish the running back room allows both Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco to seek other opportunities elsewhere, which I think is in the best interest of both parties, that being the Chiefs and those 2 individual players. And then you can use the draft to shore up things along your defensive line. If you want to go get a wide receiver, fine. You're probably going to need a tight end because I think Trav's going to call it quits. We may talk about that a little bit more. Somebody said, if Trav retires, do we think he'll get into coaching? No, he's going to get into media, acting, what have you. That seems to be where he wants to go. He's done the SNL thing a few times. He seems to really enjoy that. He's good at it. He did the acting thing. I can't even remember what the show was called that he did, like on FX or something. That seems to be where his next chapter takes him. I don't see it being coaching ranks.
Happy Gilmore 2, the dating show, the fact that he's engaged to who he's engaged to, the podcast. He's got media written all over him. He's got I get paid to be Travis Kelce all over him.
Yep, rather than to coach. I think that's probably where he ends up. 913-586-7965 is our number. Much more coming up. Stick around till 9 o'clock tonight. Logan Weber along with Nathan Williams. After Hours, 96.5, The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew dressing up for a Halloween ball would change my life forever? Now I get to celebrate with the best fans and everything Kansas City. Oh, yeah! My journey also led me to Renner Garage Door, Casey's go-to team for garage door repair, replacement, and service since 1956. Renner features an MVP lineup from Delden, Amar, and Liftmaster.
R-E-N-N-E-R, R-E-N-N-E-R. The world's largest sportsbook at your fingertips has arrived in Missouri. Circus Sports is sports betting the way it should be. With high app limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service, Circus Sports is better for the better. From football to basketball, college sports to pro, start betting like the pros in Missouri. Built for sports bettors by sports bettors. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. Must be 21 or older. For problem gambling, call the Problem Gamblers Helpline at 1-800-522-4700.
Newton James is Kansas City's newest classic menswear boutique and accessory store. They redefine what menswear should be with the best designers from the US, the UK, and Japan. Their new seasonal collection just dropped, but the most popular colors and modern cuts always go first. So check them out today. Whether it's a suit for a holiday party, a winter wedding, or a sharp everyday fit, get the best look while your size is still in stock. At Newton James, they believe someone has to be the best dressed man in the room. It might as well be you. Check them out on Instagram or newtonjames.com.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
The Sheet Metal Workers Local Number 2 Enrichment Grant is providing one local high school $20,000 to use on upgrades and equipment. Open to all area schools and no strings attached. Take a minute to tell us what your high school needs at helpmymocanschool.com, and we'll announce the winner January 4th on the Chiefs Radio Network.
Whew. I can't tell if this Oklahoma-Alabama game is nuts, dude. Right now, Sooners are in like no man's land here in the middle of the field. 14 seconds left in the second quarter. Trying to find some level of momentum. Major storyline in this one might be who gets the ball coming out of the half. Alabama does. So I don't blame.
See that?
Somebody just take one off the chin from a camera?
Yeah, Fowler was given a report, and the camera just backed right into his face.
Oh, poor
just
guy.
got rocked by the camera.
Yeah, I can understand why Oklahoma's trying to be a tad aggressive here and try to find some points before the half. Doesn't look like they're going to be very successful in getting it done. Because
I wouldn't even risk that with the way Mateer has played in the second quarter.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I also see it from the perspective of like Alabama has all the momentum right now and they get the football coming out of the half. So, I mean, they've scored 17 unanswered points in this game. Every single fiber of confidence resides on that sideline right now. So I get it from Venable's perspective of trying to find some opportunity for points to close out the first half to maybe bring a little bit of that confidence into your locker room during the break, but that's not how it played out for Oklahoma. After going up 17-0, Alabama has now rolled for 17 consecutive points. It's knotted up 0-0 pretty much here at the half, 17 all. And it's come courtesy of Alabama's defense, I would say, more than anything else. I mean, you look at the box score, it's hard to fathom how Alabama is tied with Oklahoma in this football game. They have 4 first downs. I'll say that again. Alabama has 4 first downs, and this game is tied. Alabama has 100 yards of offense, and this game is tied. Makes absolutely no sense. But turnovers will do that, especially a pick six that put Alabama right into a tie in this football game. So, frankly, I think every fiber of my being says Alabama is in the driver's seat right now. They've scored 17 unanswered points. They get the football coming out of the half. Their offense arguably couldn't have played worse if it tried. And this football game's tied. You kind of have to love where you're at if you're the University of Alabama. But, of course, the second half is what's going to dictate how this thing shakes out moving forward. 913-586-7965. An 816 here says, if Jeremiah Love is there and we have an extra first rounder from a trade, you take him. No! You're not going to get me to hop on that train, man. You are not going to get me to hop on the draft a running back in the first round train. You're not. I'm sorry. As talented a player as I believe Jeremiah Love is, I don't think he's a more talented player than Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson or Saquon or Christian McCaffrey was coming out. And I would argue not all of those guys deserve to be first-round picks coming out. The value of running backs in the National Football League today has directly affected the value of a first-round pick on a running back in today's day and age. You get greater value out of a first-round pick early, I would say, or even a mid-first-round pick on a defensive end or a defensive tackle than you do out of a running back. Just the way it is. I'd rather the Chiefs take Carnell Tate than Jeremiah Love. And I don't want the Chiefs to take a wide receiver in the first round. I don't. But I'd be more fine with that than I would Jeremiah Love.
I can be sold on a wide receiver in round one just because of my stance from the last segment, which is you could walk away from this draft with a value, with a player archetype that you didn't think you'd be able to attain in the Mahomes era for a rookie contract value, that is. But I struggle to move off of the defensive line, anything but the defensive line in round one. And if they're trading McDuffie and they're picking again sometime in the top 50 with that pick as well.
Yeah. I think an edge and an interior defensive lineman is what this team needs. You know, you look for somebody to play that right defensive end spot, somebody that has a little bit of bend, more of a speed rushing type. That's the other big takeaway I had from watching that 2018 Chiefs team. And no, I am not sitting here trying to hype up or put rose-colored glasses around the Sutton defenses. That is not what I am doing, I promise you. But watching Justin Houston and Dee Ford come off the edge for that Chiefs defense, they got to the quarterback so damn often. With Chris Jones on the interior, it was a completely different look. And I think that's what Chris Jones and George Karlaftis need. They need somebody with some speed along the edge because those guys aren't speed guys. They are hands-on, power rushing, utilizing moves to get to they don't have the ability to just quick first step and beat a guy off the line, get great bend around the edge and get to the quarterback. That's what I believe this Chiefs team today needs. And they don't have that. I like Ashton Gelati's upside. I like the potential of what he's got. But again, feels a little bit more like a George Karlaftis type. He is a power rusher. He is a bull rushing type, not a speed rushing type. Felix Anudike-Uzomah, maybe. I doubt it at this point. I'm sorry. I got no faith in that one. Not one iota of my being believes that anymore. I'm sorry. And Charles Omenihu, the injury hurt, but overall he's been a bit of a letdown. You need more there. And I like what Omar Norman-Lott can bring to the table, but if it's Chris Jones and Omar Norman-Lott as the interior of your defensive line, you're screwed. You need more than that. You need bodies. You need depth pieces. And they cannot continue to be Jerry Tillery and Derek Nottie. It can't. You got to have more. I would be fine with them using their first two picks on an edge rusher and an interior defensive lineman, if that's what it takes. 913-586-7965 is our number. We're going to come back, wrap things up. Next, you're listening to After Hours here on this Friday night. Logan Weber alongside Nathan Williams. Your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. Your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook is live in Missouri. You can get in on all the action with fast withdrawals, a safe and secure app, and betting that's easy to use anywhere you go. And the best part, DraftKings keeps the excitement going with awesome promos and offers all season long. That's why it's America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't wait. New customers sign up today. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Let's go, Missouri. Get in the game.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
The holidays are here, and that means Smokehouse Barbecue. Why fuss this holiday season when Smokehouse Barbecue can cater all of your holiday events? That's what we do. Holiday parties cater in burnt ends. Holiday parties bring those hickory pit beans. Smokehouse Barbecue will take care of everything. You can visit them at one of their 3 locations in Independence, Gladstone, and Zona Rosa, or place all of your orders at SmokehouseBBQ.com. That's SmokehouseBBQ.com. For over 35 years, locally owned and family operated at Smokehouse Barbecue.
You want to go platinum? Check out some of these fresh tracks. Yeah, you feeling it? Now we break it down.
If you really want to go platinum, play the Platinum Payout Scratch Ticket from the Kansas Lottery. You could win up to $500,000 instantly, plus $500K in a second chance drawing.
Now let's slow things down for the vibes.
Yeah, for the vibes. Platinum Payout. See kslottery.com for details.
Helzberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Helzberg.com for up to 50% off.
Call Hamilton today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Straight Talk knows the best holiday gift is simply saying yes.
Yes, you can stay up late. Sure, more cookies. Of course we can watch that movie again.
That's why we give you real unlimited data, so you can say yes to all of your family's streaming, scrolling, and sharing. And now at Straight Talk, get another gift worth giving, a free 5G phone with select plans. Because yes is the best gift to give.
Yes!
And receive. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Hey guys, it's Cody Tappin. Come watch the game with me on Sunday, starting at noon at Dave & Buster's at the Legends. And you'll have a chance to win an autographed Jalen Watson jersey, plus Guns N' Roses tickets. Come join me in 96.5 The Fan at Dave & Buster's at the Legends, where every game is a big game.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
We haven't really had a chance to talk about Week 16 of the NFL so far in this show. There's just been so much other stuff to get to. Little did we know this whole stadium thing was going to come down the pike. And have to say, more information that we're getting throughout the night. I'll tell anybody listening to this program right now, okay? Go ahead and set yourselves a reminder for around 3 p.m. on Monday. That's all I'll say. Right around 3 o'clock on Monday. Wait around for that, because things seem to be trending one direction versus the other. First takeaway, we didn't even talk about the Thursday night game last night. Matthew Stafford is this league's MVP.
100% no debate.
Point blank. The conversation's over. It's so beyond over. It was over 2 weeks ago. But I'm not gonna. That Rams defense let my boy down yesterday. He was absolutely ridiculous last night. Did he have the most accurate throwing night of his career? No, not by a long shot, but 457 yards through the air and 3 touchdowns. Puka Nacua, he's got some things going on off the field, but God, he's still really good on it. 12 for 225 and 2 scores last night. I just completely ridiculous on the football field. But, I mean, Sam Darnold threw 2 picks in this football game, and the Rams still lost. I just don't understand. The whole game felt weird. It felt like the Rams were in control, but Seattle just stayed right there, just kept hanging around and kept hanging around. And then they scored, right? LA scores on that first drive of overtime, and I'm like, over. No shot. No shot. This Rams defense has been so good. It's one of the best young units in football. Boy, was I wrong. As young at first-year head coaches with new teams just continue to see ridiculous levels of success. Honestly, at almost a nauseating clip. Like Vrabel with the Patriots, Liam Cohen with the Jaguars. I look at, and it's just strange, man. Like, look at what's going on in Seattle right now, what Ben Johnson's doing in Chicago, and I don't know. It just feels sort of like a changing of the guard kind of a year, a little bit, right?
And we're going to get a weird playoffs, and in a really good way. I'm looking at no dominant team in the league. I think the Rams are the best team on paper, right? I think the Patriots are the best team in the AFC. I hold those things as truths in my mind, but like they find really weird ways to lose games. There's no favorite in this bracket that's coming up. I think Josh Allen is the one with all the pressure, and we've got a few weeks to dive into that. I don't want to hear about Josh Allen amongst the all-time greats if he doesn't win it this year. I just don't. I know it's hard to win a Super Bowl. You can beat Bo Nix and C.J. Stroud and get to a – I just don't want to hear it anymore. But even the best teams, the Rams, they find a weird way to lose games. The Seahawks, who now control their destiny for the number 1 seed, they had to have a punt return and a really strange 2-point conversion and a clutch overtime drive in order to beat the Rams. Like, things are strange. We could end up with the Jaguars and the Seahawks or the Texans and I don't know, another random team, the Buccaneers. Like, we could just have a really weird Super Bowl on our hands.
Hey, man, that's maybe of any game on the slate this week, that's maybe the one that I'm looking forward to the most, is that Bucs-Panthers game. Didn't expect that game to be entertaining in week 1 of this season, but we're sitting here in week 16. Whoever wins this game on Sunday controls their own destiny as the division leader in the NFC South.
When they play again in week 18, did you think when the schedule came out that both of those games would be like high stakes, entertaining?
Didn't think either one of them would matter, but here we are. Weird things happening across the National Football League. For my producer, Nathan Williams, I'm Logan Weber. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for getting involved in the text line. Again, 3 o'clock on Monday. Keep your phones advised. Keep your Twitter refreshing. Things are coming sooner rather than later when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs and where they plan to make their new home. After Hours here on 96.5, The Fan. This has been your home for Kansas City Sports.